What's up, everybody? My name is Jayana Buchanan, and my topic is domestic violence. I have so many videos of different types of domestic violences from all different types of races, ages of people. And I hope that you all enjoy these videos, and I hope that you all gain something for it, and I hope that these stories touch you like they touch me. Okay, so how did y'all meet?
We just met in school. He was just some guy I knew from class, or I didn't know, but we didn't talk. And yeah.
So when did you start?
So at that point in my life, I was like super depressed and like low, and like he knew it too because I was super open about it. He walking around.
Okay.
And he knew that I was like at a really low point, and at the time I thought he was just kind of there to be my friend or just to listen, be that person,
right?
Just to listen, hear me out, and be chill. Eventually, he started doing this thing where he was like, "Where are you at? What are you doing? Who are you with?" And I'm like, at the time I was like,
"How old are you?"
I was like 17, and I never had really like a boyfriend or anything. I mean, no, actually, that was why. He's like my second guy-ish. But the first one I was like bad. It was like an older, like a lot older guy. Like it was bad too. Like that was bad, but like not as bad. And then there was this one incident. I'm gonna stop. So we'll skip forward because I don't know exactly when it began, but this is when it became like really prominent and evident to me.
Right.
He cheated on me 3 times.
Okay.
With the same person. No, 2 with the same person. One with someone else. And I remember I like caught them too. I saw them. I was driving past his apartment and I saw them together and I was like, hey, so like who was that? I had a gut feeling, but at the time I didn't trust myself. I had confidence in myself, so I was like, who's that? And he was like, oh, it was just some girl. And he told me who it was. I was like, oh, why are you guys together? Well, he's like, don't worry about it. She was, and he started manipulating. He made her sound like the antagonist. He was the victim. He was like, she's the one who like barged into my house. She followed me home. She was like, let me use your restroom, and like I was being nice. I was like, okay, fine. And she forced her way to stay for hours and hours on end to stay at my house. And she used my sister as an excuse to stay even longer.
Right.
And I'm like sitting there like, okay, nice.
Did you believe it, or you was just
No,
so young?
my gut was telling me not to. And tell me why that night I go for a half a week, met up for a second, and we talked, and he switched up his story. And so I was like, what the fuck? You're contradicting yourself so easy. But at the same time, I was still like, okay, whatever, and we got over it. I find out that they actually like did shit, like fucked or whatever, like literally days before my birthday. Like that was like June, like end of May, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then I remember on the phone, I was like, yo, what was this shit that you pulled? Like beach up for him. And let me tell you right now, he was ugly as fuck. He was ugly. He was not my type. But I was so like mentally not
What would he
there.
do? Like, what would he say? Like, he called you out your name, threatened you.
What do you mean?
Like when the abusive part, like did he call you out your name, like call you a B, or say
He'd be like, why are you? No, yeah,
he's
I
gonna
would start
do
being
this?
mean. I would start being mean because I knew there was something about him that I didn't like, that I didn't trust. And every time I would start bringing it up, he'd be like, why are you always being like this? Why do you always have to bring me down? I'm like, what the fuck? He would start to make me feel like I'm the victim, I'm the antagonist, and I was attacking him. And I was like, no, because like my gut feeling is telling me not to trust you, dude. It's telling me to like, there's something about you.
So how did you like view him during it? Like during the whole situation, how did you start to look at him?
I didn't like it. Like I felt uncomfortable. So, like some days I would be like, ugh, and then being in that situation, like I thought I liked him, but I think I was just emotionally attached too, because like I was so down. He was there, and he kept going at it. So eventually I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't think I ever liked him either.
How did you feel about him afterwards, like now?
Oh my god, no, dead to me. Like I don't want to ever talk to him again. Even now, I see him with like other girls now, or even like mutual friends who are like, yeah, he's like super, like he's still the same. Like he hasn't changed. Like, he's a bad fucking person. And everyone now who talk about like all his best friends who I just met even, and I told them about the situation, or even they were there when I told them like, or when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And even now they're like, yeah, we don't talk to him. Like he's like that like really opened her eyes. Like he is a cheating. He manipulates you, like everyone. And it's also because I talked to our old manager because we all worked together and stuff, and he was like, no, like that person, he was not there. Like he went through a lot of shit in his life, and like he used it as like a defense mechanism. He wasn't trying to defend him, but saying there was a lot of crazy dark stuff going through his head. So maybe that was probably why too. Like because of the stuff he experienced in his life, he turned that and used it.
So he went through something traumatic in his life and he was throwing it on other people.
Basically, because he saw that I was low. That also happened with the girl after me too. She was at her low point and he went at her, and eventually she was like, no, to her, no, time out.
So we're gonna cut it here. Thank you, Tracy.
I'm like, ooh.
That was Tracy. She's 19, and we're gonna go to Brianna. She's 16 years old, and she has been a victim of domestic violence from her parents. Hello, guys. We're back. This is Brianna.
Hi, my name is Brianna. I'm 17 years old, and I've been a victim of domestic violence from my parents.
So, when did domestic violence start? Well, explain your domestic violence. Is it physical, mental, emotional? Emotional?
Yeah.
What are the things that you went through with your parents?
Like, they were just they were constantly just like telling me like I wasn't enough for them, like that I caused them too much stress as like a daughter, that I shouldn't have been their child, and what's it called? They would just tell me that I wasn't worth it. That I wasn't.
How did that make you feel?
I didn't want to come home at times. There were times where I just like I didn't want to see them because I knew that I felt like they hated me for being their daughter.
That's sad. So like, okay. So when you say you hate it, do you still hate them? How do you like feel about them now?
No,
Does it still go on? When is it? First of all, when did it start?
It happened in like middle school, like, and then it recently ended
What grade
like a
are you
year
in
ago. I'm in 11th grade now, and it recently ended like in middle 10th grade year. And they apologized to me, and they were telling me how like sorry they were for making me be like that, like bringing so much stress on me. And they would tell me like I need to start paying bills or else I'm gonna have to leave. They were just really, they made me feel bad about myself.
Do they still do it?
No. They
So is it better?
It is better now. But it was
So
a
what do
rough
you think
patch.
made them realize that they were wrong as parents to do that?
I have no idea.
Did you pray about it? Did you talk to God? Did you talk to somebody? Did you wish on a star?
I have a journal at home and I write. I recently started going to church like 6 months ago. But I would write in my journal how like I didn't like being home. And I used to cry at night, and I don't know, maybe they heard me or whatever. And I would just say like I don't want to be here. And I would tell my tia I would want to live with her because I don't want to be here with them.
So, what do you think parents should do? What do you think? Okay. I mean, all of us go through that as like kids. Sometimes our parents call us ungrateful. We're just so confused because we're like, how are we ungrateful? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you think parents should or shouldn't do as parents? Like, you know, that's really hard to say to your child. You know what I mean? Because all you have is your parents at the end of the day. So when they talk to you like that, it's just like,
It brings you down.
it brings you down because it's like, who do I turn to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes you feel alone. So as a child, what would you change when you have children? What would you change?
I wouldn't blame them on the mistakes I made. Like, I would be aware of what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna blame my child for my past actions.
So do you feel like you learned?
Yeah, I did, and that's why I think my personality, like, is good, it's bubbly, and I think it's from not. It was a distraction to myself to be like that, because when I was home, it was the worst thing ever.
Well, thank you for giving me this interview. So we have another interview. This is going to be from an older lady. She's about in her early 40s. We're not going to put her age out there. And her name is Charlene. Guys, I'm back. It is day 2 of interviews. And today I'm going to interview 2 more people, hopefully, maybe just 1. And I think today's story is going to be very, very, very touching. And it might make you just a little bit emotional. but you should enjoy it. Hello guys, after a long day of work, we finally get to do this interview. So, let's get to it. Hello guys, we're here with Charlene. Well,
Hi,
introduce yourself.
I'm Charlene.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. The first one I want you to answer, and when you answer these, I want you to answer them as honest as you can. You don't have to hold back, okay?
Okay.
So the first one is, when did you and your abuser meet?
I was about 16 at the time.
Okay.
High school sweethearts.
So
First true love.
when did the abuse start? Like, how early in the relationship?
My parents did not approve of him at all, so I ended up having to move out of my parents' house, moved out of an apartment together, and they didn't know that he was living there. And I'd say after we were in the apartment for about a year is when things got a little bit hectic. Things
So
got a little heated.
So did it start off with, did it go straight into physical abuse, or did it start with mental threats? Like, how did it start off?
It was always very verbal because we were both always right, so we'd like to argue things and debate things, and it was very, I guess there's a lot of verbal abuse, but, you know, it treated me like I was an idiot and stuff, although he never had a job and he had drug problems. And when he would start having drug problems, because he's been in and out of rehab all his life and whatnot, so when he started having drug problems is when he started getting temper flare-ups.
So, did he have drug problems? Did you know he had drug problems when you first got together, or that came later in the relationship?
He said that he wasn't having any issues. He said that he was, you know, just used occasionally when he'd been clean and for a while and stuff. And although I knew a lot of his friends, they hung out, just did a lot of party drugs like coke and weed and stuff like that. But he became where he would smoke pot and he would become extremely aggressive. He broke doors, he broke windows, he smashed his car into a tree once just on purpose, just to see what it would do, stuff like that.
So when all of that happened and you didn't just like want to be like, whoa, I need to leave this man, or were you like naive? What made you stay?
There was parts of him that I loved. He was like my best friend. We were together for 3 years, and the good times were really good. The bad times were really bad. But you see the good and you think, oh, I can change him. I will change him.
Right.
I can change anybody. You know, when you love somebody, you think, oh, I can definitely change them. You know, I thought if he stayed away from the drugs, then he'd be just fine. We'd be just fine. And I thought that if I kept the drugs out of the apartment, kept him away from people that were doing drugs, kept him away from those kind of situations, that I could fix him. I could help him and stuff. So I thought I could fix him. And the fights got worse and things got pretty out of control.
Right. That is a lot. So, how did you feel about him during the relationship? Like, during the abusive parts, like you said, you had some good times, you had some bad times. So, do you think that you stayed because the good times outweighed the bad? Or did you still view him like, okay, like, well, you basically answered it because you were like, I feel like I can fix him, I feel like I can fix him. But did you ever have a slight doubt, like, I don't think he's going to change?
I still think he could change.
Still?
Yeah, I still think he's capable of change. He's 43 years old and has been in and out of rehab for over 23 years. And he's never had an apartment on his own for more than 6 months, never had a car on his own for more than 6 months without getting hooked up on some major drugs and ending up on the streets again. And living on the streets, you start using and doing things, doing favors for more drugs and going crazy, more abuse, more all kinds of crazy things on the streets.
So, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. So do you want to do you mind sharing a story that you encountered with him?
I think what made me leave him was when we had to call an ambulance one time because we got into a very aggressive fight. And while we were fighting, I guess I fell on the floor or Keith kicked me on the floor, I don't know. But once I was on the floor, he was wearing steel toe boots and had kicked the back of my back to where I couldn't walk. And so we ended up having to call an ambulance and everything and call the police. And this was like the third time the police had been in my house because of fighting. But again, like I said, he'd do drugs and he'd smoke pot and go crazy, where other people I knew would smoke and they'd just relax and vegetate. Right. He would get this crazy, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You look at me? Look at me? You know, just crazy. And I've got temper, so I'll push you. You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me? Go ahead, hit me. See what happens.
So you attack.
I would egg it on. I would egg it on so bad. Not that I'm taking up for him, because kicking somebody on the floor, steel toe boots is not okay. Yeah. But I had spinal cord damage, so I had to go to the hospital. But when the police showed up, they said that they weren't going to do anything about it. They said that they're tired of coming out to our apartment, tired of hearing the noise complaints from us, and that we need to settle it on our own. And that's when I realized I need to get it together. Right. I can't live like this. If the police aren't even going to help me, I'm going to stand up and help my damn self.
I'm glad you realized that. So, was it instantly like, oh, well, I know you had to go to the hospital and deal with it, but when that situation happened, was it instant, or did it still take you time to veer off?
It took me some time to veer off, but actually I went and stayed with my manager's house. She let me stay with her, and I slept on her couch for a couple of weeks and stuff because I was scared to go back home. And then when I got back home, I changed the locks and basically did not let him around anymore, and kind of made him angry enough to where he went into the streets again and just lost himself. And I didn't talk to him after that for probably a couple of years until I heard he was back in rehab. And every time he goes back in rehab, I hear from him again.
Oh my goodness!
Got
So
issues.
he just have him himself is just a damaged goods.
Well, I
Is
thought I
what you
could
would
fix
say.
him, but
Yeah.
like I said, he's getting out of rehab again soon. He texted me a couple days ago. He's got a new girl he's talking to, and he thinks he's going to get a car soon, and he's going to get his own apartment. And what's funny is about 2 years ago, he got his apartment for about a month. When he got out of rehab, he was doing a halfway house and was in rehab, and I had to get a bunch of stuff for his apartment, like napkins, like bathroom stuff and shower curtains and everything. And then when he got kicked out of his apartment because he got arrested again, then I went ahead and boxed it all up, and I actually just recently threw those boxes away. I was like, I'm done with his stuff. Forget him.
So even after all of that, you still help him?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does? Okay, so now you're married, of course,
Been
and
married
you have your
17
kids.
years.
Yeah. And how long ago was that relationship?
Gosh, we're talking high school. We're talking 90s.
96,
20
plus. 20
Yeah.
plus. So, how does your husband feel about? Have you told you? Of course, you talked to your husband about it, right? No.
No.
Oh, because I was gonna say, like, how does your relationship with your husband now differ from that relationship? I know it's a big difference, but what has being in that relationship taught you for all your relationships after that?
Well, I learned that I need to take care of myself. My house is in my name. I've been married 17 years. All 3 of my cars are in my name. The insurance is in my name. Cell phones are in my name. All bills are in my name. If something happens, I'm taken care of. I took care of myself.
That's what that taught
So
you to take
I
care of
guess
yourself?
I guess maybe I have trust issues where I need to know that I can just take care of myself. So if something were to happen between my husband and I, and he needed to take off or something, I would be fine because I have set up my life taking care of myself.
That's
Even
good.
though I've been married 17 years, you know what I mean? But, he works 2 jobs, he's never home, so he's a perfect husband. Cuts the grass, takes care of the kids,
Right. So, what advice do you have for young girls or older women or whoever, men, women, kids, anybody that's been in domestic violence situations?
You can't change a man.
That's the one.
You can't change him. You know what I mean? He's still, addicts are addicts for a reason. And it's not just drugs or alcohol, they're addicts to things in general. The verbal pain, the abusive words, all that stuff, emotional abuse, it's an addict. And once you start doing it, you don't stop. You can go to therapy, and I've known plenty of friends over the decades that have gone to therapy, and it may help for a little while, but something happens in your life, you snap, you're back to your aggressive roots again.
Right.
So you just gotta stay clean. Stay away from stuff like that.
Right.
Because addicts are addicts, they stay an addict.
So, do you have any words for anything else you want to say to close off?
I mean, my advice is, I think a lot of people that are abused, they can just do what I did and just end it. After 3 years, it was my 3rd time in the hospital, so I was like, it's over. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And for years, I had years and years of hurt and stuff, but it's something you do get over, and it made me stronger. It made me so damn strong. You know what I mean? It takes a lot to hurt me nowadays. I'm a tough one.
Right.
But, just stand up for yourself, because you can. And don't egg it on. God, I egged it on so bad. There are times where we fought so bad. We fought dirty. Like, we'd fight so bad.
So, it was like both of y'all would be hitting.
Well, it's not necessarily hitting him, but he'd get up in my face, and I'd keep pushing him. Like, he'd get the finger like this. Let me tell you something. I'd be like, like I'm gonna bite his finger off just to set him off, just to piss him off. Yeah.
Right.
Or I'd hide his drugs. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Just whatever. So I egged it on bad, and I admit that now. I probably wouldn't have admitted that 10 years ago, but him and I have talked about it since, and he hates the way he was. In fact, he emailed me a couple days ago. He said that he still has all of our letters from when we were in high school. Back when y'all used to actually write letters and stuff.
Love letters.
Yeah, before pagers and all that, He
before pagers.
Yes, before we got pagers at then. But he said that he saved them all, and he had just recently reread them all just to remember. And I said, why are you reading that? Like, ouch! Like, we've been over for years, decades over. And he's like, just to remember what a horrible person I was and how much I've changed. Maybe he has changed, but at least he's can admit that and go back and look at some of the old ways of things, how things used to be and how things need to be different now.
So have you forgave him?
Yeah,
Did it take a lot to forgive him? Did you have to go through?
I did. It took a lot. Yeah.
Right. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Charlene.
No problem.
Hey guys. So I just got done with all my interviews, and honestly, I loved every single one of them. All of them had different types of domestic violence. I've realized that all of them have honestly shown me that domestic violence doesn't always have to be physical. It could be mental, emotional, of course physical. And it doesn't only affect the person you're in a relationship with, meaning boyfriend and girlfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend, however you go. But I'm going to Target now. It's cold as fuck. Oh, I'm not supposed to cuss, it's for school. Oops. But yeah, so hey guys. So it's Monday. I'm in 6th period and I have another interview. But this one is a little bit different because this is an accuser, I guess you would say, and a victim. Her name is Brianna. Let her make her introduction.
Hi, I'm Brianna.
So, which story do you want to start off with first?
I guess where I was
Okay.
the mean one.
So you can start off with that. Tell us when